Um, Today I'm kind of gonna do a sad video. This is honoring my dog Marshall. Um, I had to have him put down 2 weeks ago. June 24th. He was 17 years old and he became very ill. He quit eating and drinking and going to the bathroom. And it was just time. They took him into the vet and sadly she told me it would be the right thing to do. I'm sorry. I need to take a minute. Okay, sorry. Let's try this again. Little dingo, Poopy, he's sitting here. He's having a hard time himself. He misses his brother, but it's okay. So I'd like to take a little bit of time to tell you about Marshall and how I'd gotten him. I had just moved out on my own and I had a Boston Terrier and his name was Muggy. He had cancer and he had passed away from cancer. And after I'd lost that dog, I was so hurt and devastated. I didn't want another dog. I didn't want to feel that hurt again. But after 3 months after losing Muggy, I realized that I couldn't be without a dog. I needed a dog. So my mom and stepdad kindly agreed to get me a new dog. So my mom took me to a local animal shelter back home in California, and we were walking around looking through the dogs at the shelter, and my mom had actually seen my beagle, Marshall. She had seen him before I did. And she walked by and kind of looked at him, and then she called me over. And it was funny because she'd walked by him once and then went back and looked at him, and there was no reaction from him at all. But when she had called me to come over and I came over, he started going crazy. He was jumping up and down in the kennel and barking and whining, and so I put my fingers through and pet him, and I said, "That's it, Mom, he's the one." It was almost like he had chosen me. So I went in and I told them that I wanted him, and I was really young. I think I was maybe 21, 22. And I told them I wanted him, and they had told me that they didn't think it was a good idea because he had been hit by a car or a truck when they had rescued him. I guess they'd found him on Fletcher Parkway. It's a really busy street back home. They had found him running out there, and when they tried to catch him, he had been hit, and he had, sorry, I feel like I got a dingo fur stuck to my nose. He had a broken leg, broken hip. His back right leg was broken when he had been hit, and his canine tooth had gotten broken. So I guess they had done surgery on him, and they told me that he was going to be a difficult dog because of having that broken hip, that he had bone on bone in that hip, and he was going to need physical therapy to learn how to walk on that leg again. So I told the lady, I said, I had a Boston Terrier that had cancer and was having seizures. If I could handle taking care of that, a broken leg in a dog is nothing. So she told me, okay, well, we'll go pull him out, and they had a designated fenced-in grass area. She's like, we'll pull him out and you go sit with him in this grass area and we'll see how it goes. So we go in, and there was a little brick wall I sat down on, and he came up and he sat right at my feet. And I sat there petting him, and I kind of cleaned the gooeys out of his eyes, and we played for a little bit and stuff. She's like, okay. She's like, you're a good match. She's like, but he just had surgery, so you're going to have to wait another week before you can come get him. So I was so excited. I went back that week, and we went and picked him up, and I remember my mom's dad had gone with me to get him, and I sat in the back seat with him while my mom was driving, and it was so funny. So we put him in the car, and he sat over on the right side, behind the passenger seat. He sat there by the door, and then I got in behind the driver's seat. And we're driving home, and he slowly starts scooting over to me a little bit at a time until he was completely on my lap. And I fell in love with him. His younger years, he was wild. He was always tearing up things, and like when we lived out in the country, I moved back in with my mom and my stepdad for a while, and we had a house out in the country, and he would bust through any screen in that house, the sliding screen door, the screen window, and he would take off and go run up in the mountains or go play down in the creek and then come home before nighttime. But he was just so wild and crazy. I just loved that dog so much. He'd seen me through so much in my life. He had saved me one time. Somebody had tried breaking into my house when I lived on my own, and he had saved me. He had gotten the guy when the guy was halfway through my bathroom window. He went everywhere with me. We moved from California to Texas to here in Vegas. He was a good, loyal dog. So that's my story of Marshall, my baby Beak. I'll go ahead and insert some pictures here. Thanks for watching, guys. Be kind to your pets and love them because they love you. Be good to your pets. You know, our time with them is precious. They don't live as long as we do. So just remember, their life is short, and they depend and count on you for everything. So be good to them, and they'll be good to you. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoy the pictures of my baby, and I'll see you next video. Bye.
Mom. Got me? Want to put your butt again? Come on. My eyes are
Kimmie.
Why I love you. He was a damn good dog.
Yeah.
Next week is real careful with it. It ain't hot out, is it?
It's a little cold.
Huh?
It's a little cold.